Okay, so welcome to my live streaming sessions for tonight, guys, and let us get started. And if you guys are here, if you've got any questions, you can chat me on the comments. If not, let us get started for tonight, guys. Alright, so one of the main things that we have been looking at the market is that tonight we'll be having the CPI news, guys. Alright, so I think that's been very clear, and actually a lot of people are still expecting that the inflation will still be a bit sticky on the headline inflation, and we also see some signs that prices has a lot more tendency to be higher on the inflation side. So certainly this will be the key themes that traders will be looking, especially investors. And with this kind of market movements, what a lot of people are expecting is we are going to see that inflation is likely to be high. A lot of people are already been expecting that, so I think it's not a big surprise anymore for us to see that possibility to happen. And definitely based on this kind of market movement, what we have been expecting is we are likely to see that prices is likely to go weaker from here. And definitely, if you guys are already here, welcome. And definitely I'll be touching on some key points first, hedging, before we start to discuss what's the possibility where prices could be going down or up. So let us have a discussions first. Alright, hedging. And definitely if you guys wanted to get those guidance earlier on our market, like the ones that you are seeing on the right hand side, you guys could click the link on my profile and chat me how you guys could get this for free. And we are not just sharing gold signals, we are also sharing other signals with you guys as well, and you guys could get this signal for free, guys. Alright, Alright, so based on the earlier markets movement, so if you guys are taking a closer look what has been happening on the market since yesterday. So yesterday we are having a break, we are having a national holiday, and certainly one of the main big things happening last night yesterday is we started to see that the market movement has been slowing down. So as you guys could see that from 3,300 plus area, we started to see that Friday has started to move on a weaker tendency. So that is certainly the case, guys, and suddenly during the Monday opening sessions we started to see that prices has already been dropping a lot, and certainly this is the case from what we have been seeing on the market, that prices has continued to move on a weaker trend since Monday morning and Monday Asian sessions. And from there we actually see one of the two signs that is happening. One, we started to see the confirmations of a swing low, swing high. So if I'm going to show you guys, it's going to be very clear. So let's say this is the case. I've been minimizing so that you guys could actually see it clearly. So one of the things that we have been seeing, that prices have already been moving on a swing low, swing high, swing low, swing high, another swing low, another swing high, swing low, swing high, swing low. And it seems that prices has been slowing down, but it seems that we are achieving another swing high, and it's likely for prices to be weakened. And why I'm a bit optimistic to see prices to be weakened is because overall we have been seeing that since Monday has been breaking down below 3,300, and certainly its nearest resistance area at around 3,260 hasn't even been able to achieve those price movement, guys, from what I can be seeing so far. So 3,260 has actually been quite a strong resistance, and we have already been getting the confirmations earlier on the market sessions, where during the London sessions we haven't been able to see prices able to break out higher than 3,260, and that really gives us a little bit of confirmations coming out from the market, where those confirmation has been able to let us see the true market movement happening on the movement. And there's a huge possibility based on this kind of market movement we are seeing the tendency for prices to be weakened, guys, despite the inflation data that will be coming up tonight, I personally still see a good possibility for us to see prices to be weakened. Okay, so let us discuss what really happened today. So last night, after that big drop, we started to see on Monday, US market session is almost over. We started to see a rebound happening from 3,210 and the closing prices at around 3,240. But at the early market sessions again, we started to see prices dropping towards its lowest today at 3,215, and we started to see that prices has already returned, going back higher, as it's usually the case where we could be seeing those kind of market movements. And right now we have been able to see at the current 30-minute time frame charts that we are watching right now, guys, and basically what really happened is we see the possibility that prices hasn't been able to break out higher, and there's a tendency for prices to go weaker on my side for tonight. So definitely in another, I would say 1 hour and 30 minutes plus, we will be having the news coming out on the market. So it seems that it won't be taking a long time. So it seems like in another 2 hours we'll be having the news, and it seems that before the news we are likely to get a little bit of a mixed signals on the short-term market movement. As you guys could see, that prices over the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, so for the past 3 to 4 hours we have been seeing prices has remained on sideways, guys. So that's one of the key themes before every big news, every big event. So it's usually the case. And from this kind of market movement, I'm actually quite convinced to see the possibility we will be seeing a slow market movement on gold or even either silver. But based on what has been happening on this kind of market movement, I'm expecting that prices should be going lower for now, guys. Alright, so that's my bias for now. And definitely it could be wrong, so we need to update based on how the situations evolves, and we'll be likely to see what are the most recent current movement and see what's the most recent updates that could be happening. But so far from what I could be seeing, 15-minute time frame charts right now, it seems that there isn't any clear signals on the market, guys. So certainly that's the case, because so far from what we have been able to see, it seems that prices are giving us a lot of signs that the confirmations that we are getting is prices is moving on a sideways, guys. Alright, so certainly this is a little bit of a tricky situation, but if you guys have a certain bias, you could actually put up a trade in other directions and get a very good risk-reward scenario no matter what are your directions. So let's say you are trying to achieve 1-to-1 risk-reward ratio. Right now is actually one of the best times to do so, where the current market movement hasn't been very clear. But for me personally, I still see that despite with the current movement, which is still on a sideways, I'm still expecting that price movement will be moving slower and lower, despite the current movement hasn't been able to give us a lot of indications. But that's my bias for tonight. So before the news, I'm expecting prices could be weakening at the very least towards 3,245 area, and let us see whether that happens. Stop losses above 3,260 area, and we'll see and update you guys whatever happens on the market. Alright, so hope you guys are enjoying it, and if you guys wanted to get this kind of premium signals with a clear trading plan structure, you guys could definitely check out my profile on the link and chat me up for those free signals, guys. Alright, so you guys could actually get this premium signals and it's free, and I will let you guys know how you guys could get those for free, guys. Alright, and you just click the link on my profile and chat me up. And based on what I've been seeing so far, I still have a lot of confidence to see prices to be moving lower, as prices has failed to break out resistance at 3,258 towards 3,260 area. Alright, so let us watch on the longer time frame and actually see what is actually happening on the longer time frame, because I think it's very much important for us to also realize and know what's the movement happening on the long run, so that you guys could get a little bit of idea what will happen on the short term and how you guys could combine it, what's going to happen on the long term market scenario as well, guys. Alright, so I think I'll be taking a look at the long term market movement in another chart. It seems that this chart has been quite heavy, I would say, a lot of signs and indicators. So I'll be switching to another chart for you guys to be able to see much clearly and give you guys a little bit of updates what has been happening on the currency side. So it seems that why we are seeing that tonight, we are seeing that gold started to go up. We started to see that the US dollar index today has been weakened, as you guys could see on this right hand side of the bottom corner. You guys could see actually today US dollar is one of the weaker currencies compared to, I would say, the commodities currency like the Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar. So this is a very common theme. If we are started to see that during the Asian sessions, US dollar index are weakening, we are seeing that gold could be benefiting out of those. And right now, it seems that US dollar has started to found some footing. Prices has able to rebound a few times around the low for tonight. So it seems that I'm still seeing good chances for prices to go down. Alright, so let us return and watch what's happening on the long-term market movement of gold. I think because it's very much important for you guys to have the understanding so that you guys could also track what and how the condition has been moving on the market. Alright, so based on this kind of market movement, there's actually a very key movement that is likely to happen. First, it's either we started to see the possibility of the price breakdown below 3,200 in the gold market, as I've been discussing it also on our VIP live sessions. And you guys could also join our VIP live sessions where I could be discussing more topics openly, freely. And if you guys wanted to get access towards those, you guys are welcome to click on the link on my profile and chat me how you guys could get those VIP live sessions. And based on this, there are actually two concerns. For me personally, I've been saying that if prices could continue to go higher, it should be within the uptrend line that we have been seeing that has been built from last year until this year, and prices hasn't been able to return. Since Monday, prices immediately broke down below that. So maybe that will be a little bit of a concern from my side. And with this kind of market movement, what I'm expecting is the possibility that we could be actually seeing one or two things happening. So first, if suddenly, let's say, trade deals doesn't go well, we could see prices starts to rebound on the gold. Certainly that will be the case. And there's actually two scenarios happening. First, we could see a double bottom happening on the higher side of the chart, which is rarely happen. So this is just on the best case scenario for the bullish case for gold. Prices keeps on continue to go higher, or we could be seeing exactly the opposite reaction, which I think has a higher likelihood to happen, which right now we started to see that gold has been weakening on the longer time frame, even building up a topping phase, a double top, and certainly this is a big concern. And if this double top is actually formed, we could actually be seeing prices to play at $3,000 area soon. So that could be the worst case scenario happening. But I think with how things has been evolving, a lot of things that could still occur, I still see the possibility that prices will be moving on sideways first, guys. And definitely depending on how things evolve on the trade side, we could actually be seeing the true tendency for prices to move on the long run. Right now I'm still a bit neutral with how things has been going on, and we'll see how this evolves. But certainly as prices has been going up quite fast, personally I still see that upside is very limited, more downside room for gold market movement. Especially over the last 2 years, we have already been seeing gold prices has been going up 100%, and I don't really see any big reasons or any big movement that could be happening on the political side or the geopolitical tension side. So I think gold will be moving, on my personal opinion, neutral with the tendency to bearish, guys. Alright, so let us see whether that will happen or not, but that's my view on the long term. So it's very much in line with how we see today. We are expecting that prices will be weakened, and let us see how it goes. Short term wise, a lot of things could happen. We could be seeing a false breakout, false breakdown before prices show its true tendency. That is usually the case. So we'll try to watch out and see where the market movement could be bringing us next as usual. All right. So right now we have been seeing most of the times that prices has the tendency to weaken. For most of the times we have been watching for already almost half an hour. So prices hasn't been able to go higher than 3256, and prices has tendency to move lower since then. So I'm expecting that the drop could be happening soon, but it seems that before news, price movement will be a bit slower. It's always been the case. And uncertain trends like the ones that we are currently looking at is what's usually going to happen on the market. Okay, so next I will be touching on other trading assets analysis with you guys together. So if you guys only love to trade on gold, no worries guys, I'll be putting our gold as our main event, our main star of the analysis as usual, and watch out what's going to happen. But I will be also analyzing with you guys also other trading assets. Alright, so if you guys have any questions about the market, or you guys have any suggestions or any opinions about the market, you guys are welcome to let me know in the comments. If you guys do have any feedback or any opinions about the market that we have been discussing. Alright. Alright, so prices are a bit slower. Let us try to move on, see what has been happening on the silver market, and try to analyze what could be happening next. Okay, so far one of the things that we have been seeing on silver is, I would say it has been a little bit positive. So let us try to take a few on the daily charts first. So like I've always said multiple times, that silver has a lot of tendency to move on sideways guys, especially in the long term, as prices hasn't been able to return towards its original uptrend channel, and we are seeing a lot of resistance at $33, which has again happened again for once, as prices tries to play at $33, and there's a lot of resistance around those area, and we certainly see that it has been quite a tough market on silver. But certainly after experiencing such a sideways movement, we are likely to see on daily charts there will be a rebound, and right now we are seeing the rebound. And certainly after the rebound, we started to see the resistance there has been a bit weaker, and the tendency for prices to be weakened is a lot. The incentive every time playing around $33 has been a weak case for the silver market, and actually what really happened on the silver market is a reflection of what's going to happen on gold. Sometimes it's always the case, and based on what has been happening to gold, we have been actually seeing that today gold has been able to rise, and we started to see that possibility happening on silver, and today's silver market has also been rising. So it's not a different case scenario. Especially on the short term, we could actually get a little bit of a market scenario, what could be happening on the silver market, on the gold market instead. So if you guys are watching carefully what has been happening on the gold market, we have been seeing that prices has been weakening after hitting resistance. It's very much in line with what we have been seeing on the shorter time frame on the gold. 15 minutes or 30-minute time frame charts is the same. Prices hasn't been able to break 3,260, and it's also the same scenario happening on the silver market, where after rising during the Asian sessions, and we started to see that prices has been consolidating after London session starts, and we see silver $33.20 has been a strong resistance, and prices has been slowing down since then. And right now we are seeing the tendency that prices on around $33.10, $33.20 area has been a strong resistance, and prices has been moving, I would say, neutral, uncertain, like the same movement that we have been seeing on the gold. And right now we are seeing the tendency for prices to move weaker, despite the trend on the shorter time frame has been good. But like I said, $33 has always been a tough market for the silver market to stay above, and there's a chances that we are going to see this price weaknesses continues. Yes, alright. So that's the view on silver. Long term, I'm definitely neutral and definitely not seeing any big movement. Short term wise, I'm also having the same expectations. Movement will be very much similar with what is going to happen on the gold market as well. So if we are trying to move back towards the gold market, I'm expecting to see possibly the same market scenario which is currently happening right now. If you guys are taking a closer look, so usually this kind of market movement is very similar with gold, especially in terms of the waves, in terms of the likelihood. It's usually very similar, and right now we are actually getting one of those signs on the silver market. So definitely these are one of the good chances that could be appearing on the market, where silver market could be giving us a little bit of indications where gold could be moving. Sometimes we could be seeing that gold will be a bit lagging and silver will be leading first, and sometimes it could be in reverse. But usually if we are seeing the same signs, price action, we could actually be getting a little bit of a clue happening from the market. And right now we are getting one of those. Resistance has been pretty tough on the silver and the gold market, and prices has a tendency to go lower from here onwards, guys. Alright, so that's how I'm viewing, especially I think US dollar starts to recover as well. So there's a lot of tendency for prices to go weaker on the gold, with how the US dollar has been removing and reacting across the markets. So I'm still expecting that gold will be weakening for tonight with us together on the live streaming sessions. Alright, so you guys could definitely take a little bit of a short note here. I'm also a bit bearish on the market, guys. Alright, so in a moment I think we will be touching the 30-minute time frame charts we have on our live streaming sessions, and later on I'll be discussing what's going to happen on the US dollar index charts in particular, so that you guys could actually see the true nature of what's been happening on the US dollar index and how it is affecting the gold and the silver market, because I believe that those market movement sentiments are very much in line with what's going on the market, and you guys will definitely get a little bit of clue here and there and take some notes what could be actually happening on the market based on how the US dollar index has been moving, guys. Alright, so you guys stay tuned, and if you guys are enjoying it, you guys could give us your thumbs up, give us your likes, and definitely got any questions, drop in the comments and the discussions with me. Okay. so what is happening on the US dollar index? So it seems that what has been happening in the US dollar index has been very clear that actually after trade deals between US and China has been actually moving well, we started to see that US dollar index has gained some footing back and actually is on the verge of breaking resistance and a possible reversal that could be happening on the US dollar index. And this is actually a very positive sign coming up from the market, and we are seeing a good possibility that with this kind of market movement that US dollar index could be regaining some footing, playing above $100, and it seems that things don't really look as bleak as before, and we are seeing good chances for the US dollar index to return at least playing above $100 area. And there's an option to see that prices will be weakening from here, but so far with how the development has been moving on between the trade deals around the world, seems that everything is going well. We are likely to see the US dollar index will be benefiting from this market movement, and I do see some cases that with this kind of things continuing on the US dollar index and how things has been evolving on the markets, there are good chances for us to see a good possibility that the US dollar index will continue to rise, guys. Alright, so I definitely will be expecting to see a little bit of move, and today it seems that there are a news that will be coming out, and on the next few days we'll be having retail sales, PPI, as well as Michigan consumer sentiment. So these are, I would say, some of the big things that could be happening. Retail sales, that's one. 2, inflation. 3 will be coming up from the Michigan consumer sentiment. Alright, so it seems things have started to improve, and that could really help to push up the US dollar index. And it seems with the sentiments that has been going, a lot of things could happen this week, guys. Right? Retail sales, Michigan consumer sentiment, and tonight's inflation data. So it seems there's good chances to see a possible reversal, and I think the resistance area at 101.8 is a very critical point of price, and if prices could be breaking out, we could be seeing the reversal could even start its momentum and push up further more on the US dollar index. But what's going to happen on the short-term market movement? So as you could see, actually nearing the event news, I would say, the inflation news, seems that prices has been weakening, showing us not a lot of great market movements, honestly speaking, and that's why we started to see that gold is also moving on a slow movement together with silver, and I believe it's also the case on the other commodities as well, because nearing the event that will be happening in another 1 hour and 24 minutes, it's going to take some time before we start to see any real market reaction. And people's expectation is inflation will still remain high, as the data has actually been showing us there. So this is the key. Core inflation is still remain high on a monthly basis. Headline inflation is expected to rise as well, yearly or monthly, and core inflation will still at 2.8%. So that actually has given us some signs that the people and traders' expectation is inflation will remain sticky. We will still see that the US dollar index, and certainly the market movement has been quite volatile over the past month until today. So there's a lot of signs that could be happening. But certainly with how things has been moving, and it seems that right now we are consolidating, so there's not a lot of signs. But personally, I'm still expecting that with the weaknesses that has been appearing, I'm hoping to see some signs on the US dollar index could be going up for tonight, guys. Alright, so definitely with the momentum that has been ongoing, there's a huge chances for us to continue seeing the US dollar index will be strengthening, and we could be seeing a little bit of a pressure on the gold market as well on the silver market, and that's what's my expectations on the market as of now, because we've been seeing those for most of the times. The prices has been weakening, and right now we are back to square one. Prices hasn't been moving much, so it's always the case. We need to be patient, and we'll see how these updates will be moving next. But overall, I'm still expecting that prices has a resistance around this area, and we'll try to see how this turns out later on tonight. Okay, So that's the discussions on the US dollar index, and I believe I will be talking next on the other currencies, as we have already been discussing what's been happening in the US dollar index. And definitely US dollar index has a lot of trading pairs with and against with, and you can say anything: pound sterling, euro, Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar, Swiss franc, Japanese yen could be paired against the US dollar. And I think that could be a complementary with what we have been discussing with the strength that's been going on in the US dollar index. I think we could try to take a look on the short-term basis and see what's the most interesting choices that is happening around the market for now. Alright. Okay, so let us return, see what has been happening on the currency strength charts. Alright, so based on the currency strength charts, we have been actually looking at one or two signs that is happening on the market. So I think one of the biggest thing that has been happening is we have been seeing that the US dollar index has been, I would say, weakening on the Asian sessions. That is certainly the case. And with the movement showing us those kind of market movement, I think a lot of people are expecting the prices will remain under pressure, I would say. And with how things has been evolving, there's a good chances for us to actually see that US dollar index will start to rebound after a drop for tonight. And definitely tonight, currency market movement hasn't been much. And why I'm saying that, because if you guys take a look at the left hand side of the window, you guys could see the total points that has been moving on the currency side, and honestly it hasn't been much. If I were to compare with yesterday's market movement, the movement is particularly really huge especially on the US market session is definitely a lot. Movement has been very volatile, and with this kind of market movement, I won't be expecting much, guys, because certainly with how things has been moving for now, it's going to be a bit slower market. But with the tendency that the US dollar index has been strengthening, I'm still seeing a lot of signs and a lot of chances for us to see that on short-term basis, maybe there is some good choices against the US dollar index. So for instance, Australian dollar USD, NZD USD could be bearish, and certainly Euro USD GBP USD could also be a bearish move. Meanwhile, USD CHF, USD Japanese yen could be a bullish move. So I'll be showing you guys a little bit what I'm trying to tell you guys about, and show you guys what is actually happening on a short-term basis. So right now we started to see the possibility that the US dollar starts to gaining some strength around these hours, and that could be a good sign coming up from here. And so as you guys could see that right now prices has been weakening, and Australian dollar has a chance to build up the topping phase on the shorter time frame. So that's why I'm trying to suggest that you guys could try to take a look at this market. So Australian dollar USD, New Zealand dollar USD is right now weakening, GBP USD is the same, I believe, and Euro USD is also moving in the same way. So it's a matter of how you guys are approaching the market and try to see what's going on, and you guys could actually see the symbols that we are looking at the right hand side of the window. So you guys can actually see what I'm looking at, and certainly the tendency that the US dollar index has gained some back strength. You guys could actually check this market out, and with the possible market movement bullish on the US dollar index, so currency pairs that is betting against other currency using the US dollar as the base, you guys could actually look out this kind of market movement. So US dollar Japanese yen is right now a little bit bullish signs that started to appear. US dollar CHF is also starts to be bullish, and honestly it's a little bit mixed on the US dollar CHF, but overall the signs is there. We started to see short-term wise a lot of rebounds are happening, and US dollar CAD is definitely a bit bullish as well, guys. Alright, so there's a good chance for us to see those possibility on the market happening, and we are seeing good chances short-term basis wise. Prices could be going up higher for the US dollar on the short term, guys. Alright, so that's the movement that I'm right now looking at. So for bullish notes, I think US dollar CAD could be a very good move. Put your buys around here, stop losses around the low here, and I think there's good chances that prices will be moving higher from here onwards, guys. Alright. And US dollar CAD is certainly one of the chance, like I've told you guys. I'm going to try to pair against the weakest pair against the strongest pair, but for now US dollar is a little bit mixed, so that's why I'm just saying that it is a short-term move, guys. Alright, so it's not a long-term move, and definitely you guys need to be aware. Okay, so for now I think US dollar CAD is the best choice. For bullish, bearish, I think US dollar, Australian dollar USD or NZD USD could be one of your choices for short-term basis. Yes, alright, for a bear move. Okay, but let us return towards the gold market, see what has been happening, and try to assess the situation, what's happening on both gold and maybe silver starts to be bearish. Okay, so let us try to take a look. So far, the market movement on silver is a little bit slower as usual, guys. It's always been the case, and it's going to take some time before we actually see bigger market movement happening. Okay, so it seems that right now market movement is a little bit mixed, and the rebound seems to happen again. We are still seeing the sideways movement reappear again once again, so it has been moving in this kind of direction for most of the time, and definitely we need to be patient on this market movement, guys. Alright, so let's try to assess how things will be going from here. Okay, so definitely right now it's a bit tricky. Market movement hasn't been much. We'll try to see how this situation works. So far we are back to square one, guys. Not a lot of movements. Alright, so for now, let us see how things evolve, and let us see where the next direction could be heading next. Okay, so far not a lot of signs. Silver is also in a crossroads, I would say, guys. Alright, so we'll be waiting. It's a waiting game for now, and since we have some time left, we'll try to see how this pans out, and let us see another trading assets with you guys together on the gold, on the oil market. I believe the black gold, we haven't been watching on those assets as of now, so maybe we can try to take a look on those assets later on. But for now, we'll see how this market reaction works. Certainly seems that the market movement suddenly has been quite huge. Alright, it seems that prices starts to strengthen, and let's see how this evolves. It seems that the US dollar index keeps on weakening, so that's what I'm getting. It's not going to strengthen as what we have been seeing for some time, so I believe that's what helped to push up gold prices for now. On the short term basis, as you guys could see, the last two candlesticks has been weakening, and that really helped to push up gold prices. Certainly that is the case, and it seems that price movement right now is likely to remain slower as of now, because so far the market movement has been quite slow around these ranges, and definitely we are trying to see how this pans out, guys. So we'll try to assess the situation, guys. Right now market movement hasn't been that clear, moving on the sideways, showing us no clear signs. So right now we're trying to see whether the prices continue to drop or prices could continue to rise from here onwards. Because as of now, I would say that we are right now on a very tricky situation. Ranging around this range for now. Okay, so we'll see how this goes, and let us try to see what's going to happen on the bull market later on. So it seems that right now we're actually seeing a possibility of a false breakout that is happening on the market, which is very tricky. And right now the price starts to drop back lower. We started to see the US dollar instead regain some strength, so we'll see how this goes. But certainly with how the market movement has been moving, it seems that a possible false breakout could be happening. We'll try to assess the situation, how it moves. But so far, I've already been seeing the tendency for prices to weaken. Hasn't happened yet. Certainly, it's just been a slight drop, hasn't been that much, and then prices just rebounds back. But with how things have been moving, and with the tendency for prices had a huge resistance at 3260 area, I'm still expecting that prices could be dropping from here, guys. Alright, so I'll be waiting and betting for that, and let us see how things goes. And certainly I have seen some chances for prices to weaken, as we have been seeing so far. And honestly, the current market movement has been a bit slow, hasn't been showing us any clear signs. Same thing happening on silver. It's a little bit tricky, so no clear signs for now. Okay, so we'll try to assess how things will be going again. And right now, let us try to watch and analyze what is happening on the oil market. So far, oil market has been a little bit tricky as well, I would say, guys. And why I am saying that, because if you guys are looking at long-term market movement, we have actually been seeing the chances that prices has a lot of tendency to drop. But since that the news happening on the market side, where we started to see some hope on the oil market based on the most recent trade deals between US and China, that really helped to push up gold prices and break down its original downtrend channel. So that really gives us a little bit of a different dimensions on the oil market, and we started to see 4 straight days of winning for the oil market, and this has actually shown us that the oil market has been moving well. So that's one of the things that we have been looking at. That's one. 2, we started to see a good possibility prices could be breaking out of its long-term downtrend channel, which has already been happening since 9th of May, after we are getting a little bit of market movement has been slowing down, and there's a tendency prices will be moving around this box. So we are not getting yet the confirmations, and yesterday news has actually been giving us the confirmations that we need, and all prices could be playing above $60 above. And if you guys are looking at the short-term market movement, it's actually been quite tricky for the past couple hours, I would say. Prices has been dropping from the I would say it hasn't been moving much, and right now it's building up a good tendency for prices to go up higher, guys. Alright, so certainly this is one of the good scenario that could be happening out of here. And let us see, guys, because so far I've been looking at good chances that could be happening from here. And certainly one of the case that I have been looking at is the possibility that prices could be going up higher from here onwards. So we'll see. I'm seeing good chances. Certainly that's what I'm looking at. Compared to gold, silver is a little bit uncertain, but I believe it's a little bit of a different situation happening around here. Okay, so far I'm seeing good signs that short term we could be seeing a little bit of a bullish momentum happening on the oil market, and certainly I still see some chances that the other markets could be giving us a little bit of a clear trends from there, but so far it's mostly are happening on the oil market for now. Okay, so there's a good chance. Let us see and assess the situation, and definitely we are hoping that with this kind of a clear market movement happening here, we could start to see some market movement could be giving us a little bit of a clear indications out of the market, which we haven't been able to see so far on the gold market for now. And right now, back again on the market, prices hasn't been showing any clear signs. US dollar index are still consolidating, and same thing happening on gold, and silver hasn't been able to show us any clear signs. Alright, so definitely we are waiting, and from there, if we start to see a better and clearer confirmations than the ones that we have been seeing, we could be much more certain on those. But for now, I think with how things has been going, there is a lot of tendency for prices to be weakened again, like I said, but things has been a bit slow, and right now I would say it's a waiting game on the on the gold market as well as the silver market, guys. Alright. So if you guys do have any questions of the market, and if you guys have any suggestions or any comments, you guys are welcome to let me know. But if you guys are enjoying our live analysis with you guys together, you guys could give us your thumbs up, give us your likes, and definitely don't forget to follow and subscribe so that you guys don't miss out on our live analysis with you and for you guys. Alright. Okay. So as of now, we are still seeing that gold hasn't been able to show us anything, as not tanked at all. And based on the market movement that we've been looking so far, we started to see that actually the US dollar index starts to regain some strength. So certainly that is the good case scenario happening for now. And with those kind of market movement, what I'm expecting right now is the chances for us to see that we could actually be looking at a good chance for prices to recover from here onwards. So let us see how things pans out. So let us see. Right now, tricky situation on the gold market, silver market. I believe it's the same case. Sideways move, showing us no clear sign, and all it seems that prices keeps on continue to go higher, so that is certainly a good sign. So let us see how this evolve, and I'm expecting prices could be hitting on the higher side for now. Okay. Okay, so it seems that right now we started to see that the US dollar starts to regain some strength, and we are seeing that we are back to square one. Guess the movement hasn't been much, but like I said, I have still been very optimistic to see on the market movement that we have been watching at. I'm still very much convinced to see the possibility that price movement will be weaker, despite the current movement hasn't been showing us anything. But I still see some chances for prices to drop from here onwards. Okay? So, but let us wait, see how things pan out. Personally, I still see good chances for prices to drop. We'll see how far this brings us with this uncertain market situations, and definitely on the currency market movement side, US dollar will be definitely benefiting. We have started to see the the US dollar index starts to strengthening. So far from what we've been seeing, US dollar has been strengthening against most of the major currencies: Euro USD, GBP USD, Australian dollar USD, and ZD USD. And definitely against the safe haven currencies, they are still doing pretty much well as well. Prices has been going higher because if you guys are watching carefully, we started to see the US dollar index get some of its footing around this lower side, and safe haven currencies are weakening as the moment we are speaking right now. Okay, alright, so we'll see how this evolves, whether we could be seeing US dollar Japanese yen could be hitting 148.5 soon. US dollar CAD could be hitting higher grounds. Right now it seems a bit weaker, slower, but the foundation and how things has been consolidating, I think it's been a pretty good movement on here as well. So I think it's worth a look here as well with you guys. Alright, so like I said, US dollar CAD could be one of the chances. It seems that the Canadian dollar also starts to strengthen, so let us see how this evolves. But US dollar Japanese yen could also be one of the key choice, together with US dollar CHF for bull, as well as the US dollar CAD for the bull. But for short side, I think AUD and AUD USD and NZD USD could be your choices to choose. Alright. But for now, like I said, I think it will be a very tricky and a painful moment for traders, as actually we are not seeing any clear signs out of the market so far, and it's a patience game, guys. Alright, so if you guys have been entering trades, you guys need to be patient. If you guys have already been hit out, I don't think it's necessary for us to barge in and rush things. Okay, so we'll see how things goes and try to assess from there. Okay, gold is going to rise again to all-time highs. I don't really see that possibility happening. And it seems that it's been sometimes you are here. Alright, so I think we've already been discussing what's going to happen, and if you have been missing out, you can actually click the link on the profile and chat me for you to get clear information on how I'm seeing gold could be happening. But right now, one of the tips that I could give you is I don't really see any chance for gold to return to all-time high, honestly speaking. And what's the reason behind it? I will be discussing it again on the VIP live sessions. So if you want to get access to those you can check out my link on my profile, chat me, where you guys could get access on the VIP live But certainly one of the things I can tell you clearly, I don't really see chances for gold to. Signs are showing us the possibility that gold will be having a very limited upside. Okay, I hope that helps you. On the long term, that's what I'm looking at. And if you're interested to get free trading ideas, you can also chat me how you guys could get this kind of signals for free as well. Alright, and if you guys do have any questions, you guys could let me know in the comments. Okay, so I think in the last few minutes on our live streaming sessions, I'll be giving you guys a little bit of a recap what could be happening on the market, and hope you guys could get a little bit of signs from it too. Okay, so let me try to take a look here and there, see what are the signs, and we are seeing good chances that you guys could actually see that with how things has been reacting and how and what we have been talking about. You guys know what I'm seeing. I've been bearish on what assets, I've been bullish on what assets. You guys would definitely know that very clear. It's all about confirmations, but I'll be letting you guys know a summary so that you guys could get a little bit of idea what will be happening next. Okay, Okay, so definitely I've been very bearish on the gold market, and definitely I've been telling you guys we've been playing on this sideways range, and like I said, the tendency on gold is very much stronger for it to have a rebound. So definitely you guys need to be aware if you guys are trying to do shorts on the lower area. There's a huge tendency for prices to rebound before prices to continue to show its true color, and definitely you guys need to be aware. Okay, so that's one. I've been bearish on gold since we started our live streaming sessions today. And silver, like I told you guys, I've been neutral and bearish on silver, and right now it has already been showing its true potential for now, and definitely I've been bearish. 3, I've been very bullish on the oil market, as I've already been telling you guys multiple times. Good chances we could be seeing prices back towards the high $63, and make sure you guys pay attention. And definitely with the strength coming back on the US dollar, I've already been telling you guys pay attention on the US dollar trading currency pair. US dollar CAD could be bullish, US dollar Japanese yen could also be bullish, US dollar CHF could also be bullish. And definitely for the bear sides, you guys could also check out Australian dollar USD, NZD USD, GBP USD, as well as the Euro USD. So that's my choices for those bearish pairs, and the bullish pairs on the US dollar CAD as well as the US dollar Japanese yen market, so that you guys could get a little bit of understanding what I'm looking at the market, and hope you guys could make a good trade out of this market as well. Okay, so certainly like I said, on gold I will be bearish, but I'll be very careful, see how things pans out. It's always been a bit tricky, but certainly with how things has been going on silver, there's a huge likelihood for us to see the bearishness could be continuing, and good chances to see prices to drop further with how things has been reacting so far. And definitely I'm expecting the same thing could be happening on gold, but you guys know that gold market could be a bit tricky, and it's going to take further confirmations to come ahead. And definitely with how things has been panning out on the oil market, we are seeing good chances that oil could be heading up further grounds. Okay, and definitely there's no news so far, so I think not a lot of things are budging towards this market. And definitely if things are going well, we are actually going to see gold could be dropping short term wise, long term wise, and hope you guys don't make the wrong choice, because I've already been telling you guys what's my view on the market. Alright, so if you guys wanted to get trading ideas with clear trading plans, you guys know where to look out. Click the link on my profile and chat me. And if you guys wanted to get access on our VIP live streaming sessions where I'll be discussing clearly and openly what's going to happen, you guys are also welcome to click on the profile, chat me for the VIP live sessions as well as the free signals. If you guys wanted to join, I'll be there on later hours. And if you guys don't have the time, see you guys here at the same place at the same time. See you guys. Bye.